The biggest thing that I learned about myself in the past year is that I tend to overwork myself, and it comes out of a fear of not being good enough or not being the best at everything that I do. Eventually, though, I did recognize that no matter how hard I try, I'm not going to know everything, and that is actually okay.
To truly grow, you need to put in that 1% every single day. And to do that, you have to be motivated. You have to understand what motivates you. You need to understand what you have to do. Not just do the bare minimum, but truly compound.
One thing that I learned about myself in the past year was that I was a very curious kid. And that has accumulated over the past year, and this has helped me become the person I am, and also helped me figure out my passions and develop those passions into something out of more curiosity.
So when I had my extended summer break in March because of COVID, it really gave me the time to slow down and think about what I found valuable and what I was curious about. And turns out it was psychology. It was really surprising to me that psychology was the field that I ended up being really interested in because I hadn't really considered it before. But the more and more I read about why humans behave the way we do, the more fascinated I was.
One thing I won't take for granted this year is life in general.
6 a.m., rainy Vancouver runs. Torture? I beg to differ. It's motivation. You get up with a couple of your other friends at 5:30 in the morning, put on your sneakers, and rush out to that park, grabbing in the fresh air and coming home motivated.
Family time. Pre-COVID, my family had the propensity to be 4 ships passing in the night. There was always something to do, someplace to be. So when everything really slowed down again in March, it really gave us just the time to be together and to get to learn about each other. You definitely learn more when 4 humans are trapped in a house together than you do when they're all apart.
The one thing that I won't take for granted this year is definitely my time. With 2020 literally being an insane year, I never actually realized how valuable time was before then.
One thing that I'm letting go of this year is my propensity to doom scroll. Especially at the start of 2020, when everything was really up in the air, I could find myself on my phone for 4 hours reading news that I really couldn't do anything about.
My fear of judgment or other people's opinions on me, as much as I do say that I don't care what other people think, I definitely don't think that I've internalized this enough. But at the end of the day, I do recognize that the things that I do should be for myself and for my own growth, and not because other people want me to do them.
My poor sleep schedule. I am very indecisive in terms of when I will go to bed at night, and as a student athlete, that kind of hinders my performance, doesn't allow me to be able to achieve what I can potentially do on the field. So for me, having that strict time where I'm going to go to bed will definitely give me the hours of recovery that I need in order to actually perform better on the field.
One of the things that I will be bringing into this year is reading.
Keeping track of how much time I spend on things. It's been really beneficial for me to see on paper how much time I'm wasting and if it gives me a return on investment at all.
One thing I will incorporate is morning stretches. And for me, that has actually helped me in terms of having better posture and looking more attentive in class.
Definitely more risks. I believe if I don't put myself out there in uncomfortable situations, I'm limiting my chances to grow.